Hi, I'm Larry London. This is Border Crossings. On today's show, we shine the spotlight on one of the most talented singer-songwriters in music. Her name is Mary Lambert, and she's best known for her chorus in the Macklemore and Ryan smash hit, Same Love. But there's so much more to Mary, this talented 28-year-old. She received a Grammy nomination in 2015 and shared the stage with Madonna. She's now on tour promoting her latest EP, Bold, and her Here I Am campaign. Mary's life has been filled with struggles, depression. She even considered suicide, but she managed to turn her life and career around, and now she serves as a role model for millions of teens around the world. Join us today for an up-close and personal look at one of music's rising stars, Mary Lambert, on today's Border Crossings. Hi, this is Larry London. We welcome you to Border Crossings, and it's a thrill to have our guest in the studio today. She is currently promoting a brand new EP, which is called Bold. We would like to welcome to the Voice of America, Mary Lambert. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
You are lovely.
Thank you.
I just have to tell you that. You're bubbly, you're happy, you're lovely. And I read on your website where you said you like talking about things that make you feel uncomfortable.
Yes, yes.
What a shocker. Most artists, most entertainers, most famous people want to avoid all things uncomfortable.
Right. Well, they're usually the most important things to talk about. Funny how that works.
Well, are you on a tour right now? Are you performing?
Just doing a lot of promotion for the EP. I'm trying to take a summer off, which I don't know is like a normal thing, but you know, I'm independent now, so I do whatever I want.
And you raised some money for the new EP.
I did, yeah.
A Kickstarter campaign.
Everybody else did. It was very awesome to see the response.
Amazing. Yeah. What it was? It was 70,000 at last count, or maybe more than that.
Yeah.
So the whole album's basically paid for?
Yeah, everything was paid for. The music video was paid for. Part of my tour is paid for.
Wow. How about lunch? Was that paid for?
Yeah. Basically.
Now, you write all your own stuff, and you produced a lot of the material on the new album.
I did, yeah.
Is that something you always do, or is this like they gave you a new license now that you're doing your own thing?
Yeah, I think I've always had a desire to be in that production chair. I mean, it's usually like sort of reserved for someone that has, I don't know, has the background or something, and it's usually an ergonomical chair. But I have always wanted to be in charge of all aspects of how my music is heard. I don't know that I had the language to describe sort of the technical terms of, what snares to use or what reverbs or preamps or things like that. And over the last 4 or 5 years, I feel like I've missed the opportunity to take charge in that way. And so there are 3 tracks on the album that I produced, and it's an amazing feeling to be like, this is me. This is completely me in every aspect of sound. I think no matter how kind or gentle a producer was, there was still very much a part of me that was like, let me make myself a little bit smaller so that this person can also express themselves, which I feel like, hopefully a great producer is allowing the artist to fully express themselves and is serving as a conduit or a vessel for the art or the song. But I think it's probably really difficult when you have your own, your own voice and your own idea of how things should be. And this was the first time that I got to really take charge, and I loved it. So I'm going to be producing my whole next album.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exciting to really own fully and wholly something. This is yours. You wrote it and you produced it. Because as you mentioned, these are your words, your feelings. And for somebody else to say, give me a little more of this, a little less of this.
Yeah.
And it's your song, your story.
Absolutely.
I can certainly understand. We're happy you're here. Mary Lambert's with us. Bold is the new album. Would you do a song for us?
Absolutely. Yeah. I would love to do. Actually, I can't hear the piano. There it is. Yeah. Cool.
Hey. Hello, piano.
This is one of the songs that I produced, and this is called Do Anything.
hear the waves rush against my skin. I feel the weight of every open door. I could have stayed, I could have stayed and been fine. I could have stayed. How, when the world is standing in front of me, saying I can do anything, I can do anything. Watch me, watch me. I could have stayed, I could have stayed and been fine. I could have stayed, I could have stayed and been fine. I could have stayed, I could have stayed and been fine. I could have stayed, I could have stayed and been fine. I could have stayed, I could have stayed and been fine. But watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me.
Wow. Wow. I got goosebumps.
Oh, cool.
Really? That is amazing.
Thanks.
You know, I could feel that song. You know, not often you listen to people sing. You put your heart and soul into singing, to writing, everything you do.
Exactly, yeah.
And you know, for those that are just tuning in, Mary Lambert is our guest. Her voice is known around the world, and for good reason. You were nominated for a Grammy on what was a very, very big song in 2014, I believe it was, the
Right,
Grammys
yeah.
for Song of the Year.
Yes.
With Macklemore and Ryan. And you said that came about by accident, or what was the story?
I mean, it was very bizarre. I was definitely my background is in spoken word, and I think the spoken word and hip hop communities are very closely related. And in my poetry, I was really trying to navigate the intersectionality of being a Christian and a lesbian, and navigating both of those spaces. And Macklemore and Ryan Lewis are both from Seattle, and I think they were really trying to find someone in Seattle, and also that had the perspective of being in the gay community. And but I was very much a last resort. I wasn't like the first. I was playing venues to 10 people. Like no one knew me. I wasn't
Wow.
doing anything major. And I got a call from my friend Hollis, who was working with them, who's also on their album. And she was like, "Do you want to do a song with Macklemore and Ryan?" And I was like, "Okay, are you sure? Like me?"
The real Macklemore?
Yeah, yeah. And she's like, "Well, you have to come up with something really quickly. They're on a deadline. Do you have, could you get something over to them in about 3 hours?" So I was like, I really just like, I had to sit down in my apartment and like calm myself down. And I had to be like, okay, I have been like training for this moment,
Right. Big break.
Yeah. And I wanted, when I heard the song, I just couldn't believe that this had fallen on my lap, that I was like, this is my story. And what a beautiful song this is. How can I communicate to the world what it means to live in this experience, especially being coming out in the church and being a Christian lesbian. And so I wrote the hook in about 2 or 3 hours, and then went to their studio. I recorded it that night, and that was the first time I met them. And yeah. And then it just like, it felt very divine. It felt
Right.
like this
It
is,
was meant
this
to
was
be.
exactly,
It was meant
yeah.
to be.
I mean, I grew up in a very traumatic, abusive household, and I attempted suicide when I was in high school. And I remember this feeling in the back of my head that was like, you're supposed to do something. You're supposed to do something. Just hold on. Just hold on. One more day, one more year, whatever it is, just you have a message you need to get out, you know? And I remember when that phone call came, I had this very full circle moment of like, okay, here it is. Here's the thing I'm supposed to be doing. I'm so glad that I'm alive, you know?
Wow. Same Love is the song, of course, which has brought inspiration to so many people on the on the face of the earth, and you are a role model, and that's kind of a lot of pressure for someone as young as you are.
Yeah.
And you found yourself on the stage of the Grammys performing for the industry's icons.
Yeah.
Then you were singing alongside of Madonna.
Yeah.
What was that like?
As another world. It was kind of a blur. I've never had a wedding, but I imagine that's kind of what it felt like. Of just like everything's a blur, you know.
Maybe she'll perform at your wedding.
Yeah, right.
Call her back.
It was amazing. I mean, I already am a very emotional person. I cry almost every day, whether it's usually just because I'm overjoyed. Like I just have so many feelings and they just come out of my eyeballs. But at that time in particular, I was crying so much because I knew that the song would mean so much to so many people, and that the telecast goes to such a wide range of people, that we were marrying a bunch of couples. I just thought, what would 17-year-old Mary have thought, what would she have done if she would have seen this, and how less alone would I have felt,
Did Madonna say anything to you? Did you talk to her?
Oh yeah. We became friends because we
Wow.
had a lot of rehearsals, and so it was
Very nice.
yeah, it was
Maybe
cool.
you two will record together.
That would be amazing.
Collaborate on something.
Yeah, I mean, she's such an icon.
Well, so are you. I mean,
Oh,
and you're so young with
that's
one
generous.
studio album, full studio album.
Yeah.
And so, how does Bold compare to the full album? Is this more in the developing, ongoing story of Mary Lambert, or is there some changes? Is there something different? Is there another message?
Yeah, I think when I look back to Heart on My Sleeve, my full-length album, I really have to look at it in terms of like that was a collaboration album, and now that I left my record label. I don't have formal management. I wasn't working with a producer on it. It's very much what I want to say. And I think that Heart on My Sleeve was an awesome first experience of being in the studio and seeing how the industry works and its flaws and its ups and downs. But honestly, making that record was really hard. I hadn't been home I think I had been home at the most consecutively 3 weeks out of an entire year. I was on the road for about 230 days. And so any chance that I was supposed to be home or having time off, I was flying to LA to get this album done at the speed that, the label wanted me to. And that was a lot of pressure, and I don't think I was mentally well. And I kind of did a lot of things because I thought I was supposed to do them. And I started realizing how many artists do that, how many artists do what they think they're supposed to do because there's somebody in a suit that's telling them that this is how it's done, and you can't do it any other way, or you can't be successful, or if you really, give a damn about your career, then this is what you're going to do, and you should listen to these people. And I think we just have different ideas of what success is, and I would much rather achieve success doing exactly what I wanted to. If we agree that 95% of artists are going to fail by an industry standard, why not let people fail with dignity, doing
on their own terms?
Exactly, doing what they love, rather than keep pushing this idea of what you really want to accomplish off. Like, just do this first. Do the stuff you don't want to do, and then you can do what you really want to do later. Why not do what you want to do all the time? I mean, on that album, I had a poem about about rape that I really wanted to put out there. It's a very intense poem, but I think it's a necessary poem to talk about sexual violence. And I was really convinced otherwise to take it off. And so there were decisions like that I wasn't necessarily forced to do, but I was kind of coerced into. Creatively, the albums are somewhat similar, as there are pop elements and then there's some soulful, quiet stuff. But obviously Bold is so much like closer to where my heart is, and is just, for me, it's just so much of a joy and not a chore.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. I mean, to be at this point in your career and in your life, I'm sure that there's therapy in being able to create your own music.
Absolutely.
That's totally yours.
Mm-hmm.
But if you would, I'm going to ask, because I want to make sure we get everything in.
Yeah.
Because you are a very interesting person to be able to share some time with. So if you'd please play another song for us, I would
Absolutely. I'd love to share with you She Keeps Me Warm, which is where things sort of launched off of. This is She Keeps Me Warm.
She says I smell like safety and home. I named both of her eyes forever, and please don't go. I could be a morning sunrise all the time, yeah. This could be good, this could be good. I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. What's your middle name? Do you hate your job? Do you fall in love too easily? What's your favorite word? Do you like kissing girls? Can I call you baby? Yeah. The people stare 'cause we look so good together. I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. Even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, my love. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm.
Wow. Woo, woo, woo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what talent looks like.
Oh, thank you, Larry.
Wow, Mary Lambert is here, and whew, wow, your voice is lovely. Your talent is amazing.
Thanks.
I'm in awe. I really am in awe. You know, you had another one of your huge hits, Secrets, which became a #1 dance song.
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, when you released it, you weren't thinking, well, this is going to get on the dance charts.
No, I was not
That
expecting
was not the plan.
No.
Now, your music, I'm going to peel back the layers a little bit and
Yeah.
try to, we're going to get a little deeper. You talked about being in high school and contemplating suicide.
Yeah.
You have a gift that's honestly heavenly. I mean,
Thank you.
truly. And so with so much talent and so much love as you have, what would drive you to that point? I mean, that to me is, because it's something we talk about a lot these days. It's in the news,
Absolutely.
youth and in high school and things. And what
Yeah.
could possibly drive someone to that point?
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up in a really abusive household. I was sexually abused by my father at a really young age. I was untreated with bipolar disorder. I always had bipolar disorder, probably developing when I was 12 or 13. And then I survived a gang rape when I was 16. And that on top of coming out in the church, and that on top of being a fat person, there was a lot that felt so heavy to the point that I was just like, I can't exist in this world. There's no space for me. I don't feel at home in my body. I don't feel at home in this world. And this was, it hurt. Everything hurt. And I think where I am right now, I'm realizing that there's even a canned way that we talk about trauma, that we talk about pain, that we talk about abuse, and that so many things are far more complex than we give credit for in discussing. And so a lot of times when you see narratives about people who suffered abuse or people that were raped, there's a specific way in which it's talked about anyway, that it doesn't give room for the complexity of actual narratives. And I think it's been sort of my life's mission to really give light to the complexity of self, that we're all born complicated. We're all born really multifaceted. And I think it's a desire to be loved and accepted that makes us cut off parts of ourselves in order to be digestible so we can be loved. And what would happen if we could just embrace each other in our full complexity? And the fact that I want to make pop music, I also want to talk about different things, and I also want to dismantle white supremacy. There's stuff I want to tackle, and how can I achieve that? And also take up space doing it, and have permission from other people to do it. Yeah.
Well, you were sent here. You have a purpose. And, you are helping many, many people. Many, many people with your voice, your music, your message, your thinking, your survival story. So, I mean, you're a survivor, and you're a lovely young lady.
Thank you.
Lovely, by all measures. And I know you mentioned that you're a plus-size girl, and so you have put that to a message with, I guess, JCPenney. You've got a video out, so maybe you could tell me about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really bizarre that you'll go into a store and they'll have a maternity section, but they won't have plus size clothing. And I'm like, people are pregnant for 9 months. I've been fat my whole life. Can I please have some clothes at your store? Mm-hmm. But it's not even, that you have to go to a different section of the store. It's the fact that some stores just do not acknowledge that you exist. Mm-hmm. And so, why are we treating people this way? Why are people, good people, kind people that don't, it's weird. My girlfriend said this recently. She's like, we treat fat people, they are farting all the time. That's kind of the way that we treat fat people in our society. They're just farting and they have Twinkie fingers and they're just going to ruin everything. It's like, I'm a functioning person. I'm a good person. Like, I'm as faceted as anybody else. And
any girl would be lucky to be with you.
And I have, like, and everybody deserves to feel good and look good and have cute clothing. Like, why is that such a novel concept? But I think there's this idea if you cater to plus size women or plus size clothing, like, you're going to glorify obesity and you're going to give permission to people to be overweight, and like, it's like this concept that people, they want you to be like living in a basement in a black shawl, like counting granola. Like, that's what they want you to be doing. It's like, no, I want to wear a circle skirt and a crop top, and I want that to be okay. Just let me be. Let me have cute clothes. So yeah, being a part of that campaign was awesome. I'd love to eventually do my own fashion line. I think that'd be really cool. But again, I just do so much stuff.
Well, maybe one day you'll run for office, because we need people with a message.
Yeah.
Really a message for all people.
Yeah.
And so Mary Lambert is here, and I know that she's got a very busy schedule. We're so thrilled that you were able to give us some time while you're here in Washington, D.C., and you're promoting the new EP. How about a tour? Is there a plan for a tour?
Yes, in the fall. I'm planning a national tour and hopefully coming to a city near you.
How about internationally, too? Around the world?
Someday.
Oh, come on, Mary.
I don't know yet.
The world wants Mary.
I know, but it's hard because, like, touring is so difficult and it's really wreaks havoc on your system. So I'm trying to be like, okay, what's the smartest, most healthy way I can tour? And, like, both mentally and physically.
Now, somebody who writes a lot, music, poems, have you thought about writing a book about your
yeah.
life, your story? I mean, I'm sure I would buy it. I'd be first in line.
Thanks,
or maybe
Larry.
a movie about your life.
I have a collection of poetry that I released a couple years ago, and so I'm releasing a second collection probably this year. But as far as a memoir, I don't know. I'm working on a musical right now.
Great.
And I'm teetering.
What's it called?
It's called Shame. It's perfect. It's chorus line.
That's right.
Shame,
top
shame.
hats and the
But I am teetering on the edge of, like, should it be autobiographical? But I feel kind of like, is that okay? I don't know.
It is okay.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Yeah,
You're more than okay.
Thanks, Larry.
Really. I'm serious. I'm sincere. And I know that you're a very honest person. And, you ask your fans, you say, cry. I want crying at my concerts.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
And you want that. And you cry every day yourself. And so, it's all healthy. Everything's healthy.
It's good for you. Yeah, it cleans your eyeballs out. I think that's science. I think science says that.
Mary Lambert, what a pleasure to have you. Bold is the name of the album. Can you do another song for us?
I would
One
love
more
to.
song?
Yeah. This is.
I'm trying to get as much out of you as I can while you're here.
This is.
I love your voice.
Thank you.
I love everything about you.
I would love to share a poem song with you. This is off of the EP. This is called Lay Your Head Down. Sometimes, when I cry, I start to cry harder simply because I am crying. Or I cry because in the world I know there are little girls wearing tutus and singing Christmas songs. Or because on the internet you can find pictures of Shar-Pei puppies that look like rolled up towels. Sometimes I cry when cheese is really good. Or when I've cut onions. But that's just human. Sometimes I cry when Sarah McLachlan comes onto my TV and tells me about animals that don't have homes. Damn you, Sarah McLachlan. Just kidding, I love you, Sarah McLachlan. Sometimes I cry when I think about those puppies that look like old men. Like puppy old men. What a concept. Sometimes I cry because on the internet there are pictures of pigs wearing rain boots. The internet is great. I cry when they call me fat, even though I am fat, because most of the time a word is not just a word, it is a weapon. I cry because there are weapons, because one person armed with self-hatred and one gun can kill an entire room of people. I cry because shame propels so many of us. I cry because some people forget how important it is to cry, are made weak to feel weak when they do.
Lay your head down. Lay your head down. Lay your head down on me. What is the state of your heart? Is it concave? Are you awake?
Sometimes I cry because I forgot to take my meds, and then I start to cry harder because then I wonder, am I actually myself, or is this just the meds? And then I cry because maybe I am myself, and that means that this isn't enough. I cry because you love me so well. I cry because the sunset is so beautiful on the Connecticut River. And then I cry harder because I used to cry alone because I wanted to die. And then I cry because your shoulder is so soft. I cry because the moon is out and all the fireflies are awake and they're winking at me and they want nothing from me. I cry because there is also chocolate cake and Harry Potter and the brilliant gasps of magic of holding a hand and hammocks. I love hammocks. There's also love letters and first kisses and second kisses and third kisses and weddings. I cry because I am so well, because I live so well. And how could one person possibly be so fortunate to live with all of this light?
Lay your head down. Lay your head down. Lay your head down on me. What is the state of your heart? Is it concave? Are you awake? Stay awake. Stay awake. Stay awake.
Amazing. Amazing. She is the unicorn queen. She is Mary Lambert, and we love you.
Thank you,
You
Larry.
cannot help but falling in love with this girl. I mean, wow. Bold is the name of the album, and it's available right now. Just came out, and you released it on your birthday.
Yeah.
And so that's wonderful. Please come back and join us the next time you're in D.C.
Thank you so much for
I mean,
having
there's
me.
so much more to talk about.
Yes.
and we love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm out of words, which is, unheard of for me. But Mary, thank you so much. What a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
My name's Larry London, and this is Border Crossings.